Hello everyone and welcome back to the Zephyr Modpack. Today we have a few things to do. As you can see, I've rearranged my Britannia setup. I found out I have a method for automating the Gormeralyses that I've already used before. But I thought was part of a mod that was not included in this pack. So, yeah. However, first and foremost, we have enough materials to upgrade the rest of our armor to Terra Steel. Winter is for the boots, and then autumn is for the legs. Boosh boosh. We are now full on green. Awesome. Boosh boosh. Okay. So that's cool. And now, all of our armor leveling is reset. However, I realized that leveling armor is more efficient when you're at level 0. So, off camera, I made us a Rosa Arcana. So, the Rosa Arcana, I did it off camera because it's a super simple recipe. It's just a rune of mana, which we've made a dozen times, and 2 pink petals, 2 purple petals, and a lime petal in the petal apothecary, and then, you know, just a seed. Simple as that. Now, off camera, I have also made more progress towards a type of bee to get us some better traits. I need this Imperial bee to do that, which gives us a nice regeneration effect, which I might actually take from that bee. That would be helpful, especially in boss fighting arenas, which will become a more prevalent thing the more we get into this stuff. There are like 2-3 mods that have substantial boss fights that we'll probably get into in one form or another. So, however, the next thing we're going to do is get into this Gormeralyse automation, and to do that we need some RedNet stuff. Anybody who has watched my Agrarian Skies series will recall this setup. So what we need is a programmable RedNet controller. Now to do that we need a normal programmable RedNet controller housing. So that's this guy right here, which is 4 plastic sheets, piece of iron, piece of glass, 3 redstone, easy peasy lemon squeezy. Then we just need to add a diamond, piece of gold, some lapis, some redstone, and some plastic sheets, and we get ourselves a RedNet controller. Should have scanned the housing, didn't think about it. My mistake. So, I'm not going to be setting up this entire process here on camera, but I will show you guys the general principle of how to set up the timer. And I think we'll probably do the calculation for how often I should be feeding these guys. Alright, so this might look a little daunting, but all we're doing is setting up a timer. I don't think I'll ever get into any of these other systems here. But basically, this thing's purpose is to set up redstone networks without the need for tons of little complicated redstone systems of repeaters, comparators, all that other nonsense. So the thing we're looking for now is we want to set up a timer. So simple enough, we go to the only option that says timer, which is a wave square timer. So the system we're looking for here is we want to set this to, actually we want it set to CNST. We want it set to 10. So a 10, this is all based on ticks. So now it's doing something every 10 ticks. And there are 20 ticks in a second. So Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. This means that it does an operation after 10 ticks, and it continues that operation for 10 ticks before resetting. Meaning that between going active, completing the cycle, and going active again, there's a loop of 1 second. Then what we want to do is we want to set its output, which is this variable here. We want to set output to a variable, and that variable is going to be 1. Then we go up to our next page. Our next page, we are going to do a counter, which basically just counts. And we are going to set it in to input a variable. So this is the increment, this is decrement, and then this is the, what does pre stand for? This is basically the operation. So it is going to count based on the parameters of variable 1, which is once a second. Once a second, it will count. So this is basically a second timer. This will do it by seconds. And then we could easily go ahead and set it up for minutes and all that. But basically, we want it to count to a certain number here. And this should all save, right? Yeah, this is all saved. So, we need to find out our timer, which means I kind of need there we go. Which means I kind of need mana to be gone from this system. So what we'll do is we will make some more Terra Steel, because why not? Kind of reset the system here. And then I need to get some epic bacon. So we need each of these. Alright. So there's a stack of epic bacon. There's all the materials we need to make a piece of Terra Steel. Now all we have to go do is bump these guys in, put them on here, and now we can drain that mana pool pretty quickly. Then I need to get my phone out here for a second. And let's go ahead, pull up my stopwatch here. Oh, there we go, piece of Terra Steel, and our pool is pretty depleted. So we'll have an accurate measure of how long this takes. So I am going to go ahead and do this manually, but it shouldn't really matter because it can only drain one of these at a time. So it shouldn't matter if I'm doing these one at a time or if I'm dropping them all simultaneously. So I'm going to hit my stopwatch at the same second I hit Q to drop a piece of bacon. So here we go. 3, 2, 1. And now I'm going to stop the watch. Please tell me you ate. No, I think the other piece just went to that that one again. Damn, wasted a piece of bacon. Okay, well, basically I need to know how long it takes before this mana spreader is empty. Okay, so it just finished emptying the first one. It's still doing its thing. We are up over a minute at this point. And this is because we're using the most basic mana spreader, so this is the longest our system's ever going to have to run. Once we upgrade our mana spreader, we can retool it basically, but for now, this is the system we're working with, and we're up past a minute and a half, so this is going to be a long system. I might even want to make this thing count in minutes. Well, actually, no. That will only be an option if this thing... if this thing lands directly on a minute, which I'm pretty sure it's not going to. Unless for some reason this takes a whole nother 45 seconds. We're at 2 1/4 now. I'm going to have to make this thing count really high. I mean, even if we're just under 3 minutes, maybe I do make it cycle every 3 minutes. Although at this point it looks like we're going to be over 3 minutes. Now we're on to this guy. Mana spreader is still firing on all cylinders. Gormeralis is just over a quarter done. Just about through half of its supply. Ooh, we may actually be closer to 4 minutes here. 3.5 already. There we go, down to another quarter. This may be longer than 4 minutes. Well, actually, once this thing empties, the mana spreader empties pretty quickly. Four minutes, almost on the dot. Okay, so in that case, I will make this count all the way up to 60. All the way up to 60. And then I'm going to set Q to output a variable. Variable 2. Next page, we're going to set a counter. It will increment every time variable 2 ticks over, so that's once a minute, and it will count to 4. And then we're going to set Q as an output to the back, and that's it. Yeah, that's it. So I'm actually going to write this down because chances are when I break this thing to move it, it will not remember its systems, and I only had pages 1 and 2 written down because I did not know it would take 4 minutes to run. So page 3, counter. I also have to scratch out the output on that. Vars 2. I want to change my seconds to actually go to 60. Okay, so then I need to be increase on page 3 to variable 2. I'm going to set my pre to CNST, and it's going to be 4. And then my output Q is going to be I/O B. Okay. Alrighty. And that's that. So every 4 minutes that will tick. I wish I could demonstrate that, but I guess I do have a redstone lamp. I have no idea when in the counter it's going though, but it will also only blip for 1 redstone tick, which means it'll be equivalent to a button press, which is not something I had addressed. That's not going to work because it requires RedNet cables. What am I thinking? RedNet cable. So I need 3 redstone and 6 plastic. It needs cable because it operates on channel. As you might have noticed, when I set it to output, there was also a box that was just a solid color. RedNet allows you to switch outputs based on color. So I could set up different timers for different colors, or to set different colors to go off at different points within the same timer. I only need 6 plastic. I guess these benches are free now. So, RedNet cable. So now, I can hook that up like so. And this thing, every 4 minutes or so, should pulse. It's been about 3 minutes since we set it up, so it shouldn't take too much longer. But I kind of want to make sure it's working the way it needs to work. Okay, this could take a while. So, while we're waiting on that, let's talk something. Let's talk what I'm going to do off camera, so I don't have to do it after my outro. So, off camera, after this episode, I am going to spend some time trying to fill our soul shards for blazes and wither skeletons. Got a little bit of work to do there, and leveling up our armor so I can get some Ars Magica levels back into them. And all that jazz. I wonder if this even works with RedNet. I don't know. Then our next project, I think, is... I'm going to set up this system off camera, and then I'll run you guys through it on camera next episode. And then what? What is our next project? I guess once I have this set up, we can start working on the Alfheim stuff. I don't know that this redstone lamp will work on a RedNet cable. The way I could find out is to simply change this to that. Yeah, no, the redstone lamp is not affected at all. The redstone lamp does not get affected by RedNet cables. So that idea was doomed from the start. I will test this another way off camera. Let's see, what do I have to work with? An illuminator would be nice. I could do that. There's gotta be something easier. But I mean, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Alright, so we are currently at time for today, though, so that's going to have to do it for this episode. So thank you all for watching. I hope you've enjoyed all that fun stuff, as always. As I said, off camera, doing that stuff. Next episode, we will be tackling the portal to Alpine. So there you go. This node is growing fantastically. We're at like 750 for our biggest hit here. It's going pretty well. But that's all I have for today. So I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye for now.